Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? Welcome to some more Today I Fricked Up from Reddit. I hope you all enjoy today's tales of people screwing up royally. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Today I fricked up by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I brought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today, my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave Mom, Dad, brother, and my 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but you could tell she was still flustered. Later, she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids needs to take it since we will all have the same results and to resell the extra kits to save money. Fast forward. Our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who has a different dad. TLDR, I bought everyone in my family Ancestry DNA kits for Christmas. My mom started freaking out. Now our parents are fighting, and my dad might not be my dad. Oh boy, that's not good. Update. Thank you so much for the love and support. My sister's brother and I have not yet decided yet if we are going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we still love each other and our parents no matter what. Update 2. Christmas isn't ruined. My screw up actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of mom's was able to help her through the darkest times in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night, she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget, and yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone. P.S. Sorry, my mom isn't a whore. No, you're not my daddy. Yeah, sounds about right. Glad it ended all well. Today I fricked up by confiscating my son's Gameboy and hiding it. For 18 years. Whoops! My son was not doing his homework, so I confiscated his Game Boy Advance. I told him he would get it back next week. Well, he's a pretty clever dude and knew all my hiding places, so I put it someplace he would never look. Except, I suffered a TBI a few years ago and, well, I forget stuff. So when he did his homework and asked for it back after a week, I couldn't find it. Oh, I looked everywhere. Obviously not everywhere, says the narrator. Then we moved house, and I still didn't find it. 18 years later. I was donating some coats I had not worn in a long time, and in the pocket of a Viennese trench coat from the 1930s, I found it. His Game Boy Advance. Turned it on, and it worked. Pokemon appeared. I put fresh batteries into it and handed it to my 28-year-old son, who proceeded to laugh for a good 5 minutes. And then played it for a few hours. Then proceeded to tell my wife and other adult children how silly I am. TLDR, hid kid's Game Boy, forgot where, found it almost 20 years later. Family has further proof that I'm an idiot. Almost like that one time my grandmother took my Game Boy Advance from me one time when I was a kid. She didn't lose it, but it took like 8 months for me to get it back. Ooh, And for our last story of the day, today I fricked up by owning a golden retriever while being black. Oh no. Don't cancel me for reading this, please. Please don't. Okay. Work was rough today, and all I wanted to do afterwards was sit on the couch and let the TV watch me while eating food, not cooked by my own hands. The answer to that? Delivery. Food ordered. I let the dog into the yard to burn some energy and sat camped outside with him while waiting for delivery. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, and everyone other than Jehovah's Witness had trouble locating my address, strictly relying on GPS, so it's nothing for me to post up and wait outside for when they're close, flag them down, and go back inside for a contactless drop-off. Pertinent details before the poo-poo hit the fan. My neighbor and I share a fence with the doggy door as our pups are super close, and you can bet each time that if my dog is outside, hers will follow for cross-yard playtime. This was the case today, and probably bad judgment on my part to think that I would be able to break up the fun quickly. Both dogs were in the neighbor's yard at the time the notification came through that the driver was pulling up, and I had to call out a few times to get my dog's attention. Neighbor thankfully whistled for her dog, and I had to put on the voice for mine to acknowledge I existed, and then took off running for my door while waving to the driver, who by this point was getting out of the car. Pup and I have a game called Run Away, where I will take off yelling, "Run away," and literally he will chase me like some human-sized fetch stick. Aww. I used this to my advantage until he realized I was putting him inside, but I managed to get him through the storm door and close the screen before he could run out. Then I realized that I left the gate unlocked like an idiot, with the driver standing right outside by this point. I didn't have a mask on at this point, and neither did she, so I yelled from the porch that she could leave the food by the mailbox. And that's where the fun started. "Is that your dog?" the delivery person said. My BS meter didn't go off. I thought she was asking a question with an obvious answer, because duh, she was a dog person. So I engaged with dog owner gushiness. "Yes, blah blah blah. His name is insert name here. Want to say hi?" "I'll be nice because you brought my food." But she just stood there awkwardly for a moment. She put the food down quickly and jumped back into her car. In my mind, I was like, okay, weird, but whatever. Snatched up the food and went back inside. Went to wash my hands, and from the kitchen window, I could see the full street where she is still parked outside. Thinking, okay, weird, again, but didn't dwell on it too much, figuring she was looking at the route to her next location. I went about my business of preparing to destroy my meal. Few minutes later, the dogs begin barking maniacally at the front door. I take a glance at the cameras and realize she is still out in the front park, directly in front of my mailbox. Okay, what's going on here? I go outside to get her attention, but she's on the phone and doesn't notice me. I walk up like I'm going to check the mail, and she doesn't pull off. But towards the back of the neighborhood that only has one way in and one way out. Lots of people make that mistake, so you'll quickly see cars turning back around. But she never came back. By this time, I think I'm losing my mind as I go back in, but still watching the street for the cars to pass. It never does. I don't know. People are weird, so I just left it at that and went back to eat. About 10 minutes later, the dog starts going ham at the door, so I check the cameras to see two police cars sitting outside my house. I continue to watch the cameras, realizing that, yep, the cops are getting out of the car and walking back and forth in front of mine and neighbors' yards. I go out to see if anything is wrong, and they introduce themselves before saying that they were called because a stolen golden retriever was reported at my address, and if there was a dog in my home. It clicked that the driver had called police, and then explained my version of what happened. They were really respectful and apologetic, but asked if I could get Sir Pup. I went ahead and opened the door for the dog, who took off, ready to greet the new faces outside. His collars and tags matching the address with my name and phone number on it in case he was ever lost or stolen, which was enough proof for them, as it was obvious that they wanted to get this over with as fast as possible. No hard feelings on either side. We were all walking away when driver's car slowly comes creeping from the back of the neighborhood. I yelled out to them that the lady was right there. They positioned themselves in front of her car in a way that she would have to stop and speak with them. I don't know if this lady was drunk or off her meds, but she rolled down the window and was literally sobbing hysterically that she saw me take the dog from the neighbor's yard, and that animals get no justice. And the icing on the cake? My kind only owns pit bulls and Rottweilers. There was no way he was mine, and he needed to be protected. I honestly did not want to deal with the mess, so I went inside. Sorry, this isn't a tale of revenge. I went inside and stayed the frick on my couch. The day was already cruddy. Everyone left a few minutes after that, so I assumed she got a warning. However, I did report the incident to the delivery service and was offered credits towards my next meal. I splurged that on a bakery and currently now frickin' up a slice of carrot cake. Grateful it didn't end worse. TLDR, ordered food, racist delivery person thought I stole my own golden retriever, had a mental breakdown when I didn't get carted off in handcuffs. I didn't get shot, but I got cake in the end. Shoot you in the dick, why don't I? Oh, you're still up. No. None of that. Now get back up and say you're sorry. Psycho. Psycho. So this is why Dad said I couldn't have a life.